Hey everyone, my name is Gorr and this is season 41, number 1. I'm taking path number 5. My team is Think, Scorpion, and Havok. The global is Planetary Endurance. So, this war consists of 13 fights, which is the maximum number of fights. So, the first fighter is Hulkling on Force of Will, Ebb and Flow Knockdown, and Debuff Immunity whenever he is knocked down. So, over here, the subdue attackers do work, but in a very limited way that you only put the fate scene and you don't put the neutralize because of force of will. So, here the initial plan was just to do normal hits and just with the help of ruptures, just take him down. But I felt like it's gonna take a lot of time because he also has that region. So since I'm not doing a lot of damage, he's actually just regening all his health back. So I thought like maybe it's not a good idea to just do the normal hits. So here we knock him down, and now what I'm just gonna do is just do the normal hits after knocking him down so that I do the main damage from my hits, and whenever I get a chance to knock him down after his special 2, I just do a heavy attack, just space out myself in such a way that I can just knock him down. But here I was a bit slow on dashing in after his after the evade which triggered. So I'm just gonna fast forward this fight. So here once I'm just trying to bait out a special 2 so that I can knock him down, or a parry. So we did a parry and we got to a special 3. It did a good amount of damage, but now I'm just trying to just stay in the fight and also bring him down. So that's what's happening. Ideally it should not be like Scorpion is not the ideal counter for this fight, but I thought I could do it, so I just went with it. And now we're just gonna knock him down again and then use a special 3 after his special 2. So this also does a lot of damage, which is good for us. We are also low on time now. It's just 2 minutes remaining and we still have like 20% health left. So I'm just trying to like do my best and just finish the fight as fast as I can. So here we bait out another special 2 and we just go with the 5-hit combo and a special 2 just so that we can knock him down, and after his special 2 we just finish the fight with a 4-hit combo. So the fight went well. It was a long fight, but eventually we just got the fight down. So the next fight is Pryde, which is on Even for Knockdown and Unstoppable Heavy. So the main source of damage would be SP2 or SP3 from Havok, and also I have to be careful that whenever she has 3 prowesses, so whenever she dashes in like this, she is invisible, and if she does a heavy attack in between, like I cannot just counter it because of the invisibility. So that's what we're doing here. I'm just knocking her down so that I can utilize my special 2, which does a lot of damage. And here we see she is gonna use a special 2, and I'm just gonna do a medium combo so that I can parry her. I just knock her down and I'll just use a special 3, and this finishes her off, which is nice. So the second fight goes down quite easily, and then we come up to the third fight, which is Nick Fury on the same even flow knockdown, debuff immunity whenever they're knocked down, and aggression prowess. So this is a bit of a tricky fight because of the global, because whenever you take a block hit they gain uh, a power charge, which basically increases the combat power rate. So they get a flourish charge, so that's what I have to keep in mind. And also, like, giving him a few flourish charges like kind of helps me out, because this way I can push him to a special 2 easily. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just not gonna focus on the damage over here, but rather I'm gonna focus on bringing him to like 2 bars of power every time. So here we wait out that debuff immunity so that we can parry, and we can just push him to another special 2. And with the help of my special 2, I just, like, after doing a 5-hit combo, I just bring him to a special 2. So this is the way I'm opting for this fight. I'm not focused on the big SP2 damage, but I'm just mostly focused about bringing him to a special 2, because if he uses a special 1, that means a lot of block hits, which means a lot of flourish charges on him. That means he gains a lot of power each hit, so I just want to avoid that. So the fight is going well. He is in his second life, and I'm just gonna bait out the special 2, and then I'm just gonna wait for this ebb and flow fury to go off. And here I'm gonna try and do a parry somewhere. No, we wait out a heavy attack, and then I just go with the special 1, thinking it might push him to 2 bars, but it didn't. So I just used my special 1 again, and I just kind of like finished the fight because it was unblockable. So the third fight is down. Fourth is Terrax on note 22, which is aggression, prowess again, insult to injury, and hazard shift, incinerate, and shock. This note is actually made for Havok, and putting somebody who he counters on this node is just a very good thing for me. So I can just nuke this guy down. Here I'm just waiting for the rock field to expire so that I can do a few block hits. I also have to be careful that if I have a debuff, I might not be I might not have a successful parry, so I'm prepared for that. And here we lock in the feedback so that the plasmas do a little bit more damage. And here I'm just focusing on like not being close to him or not taking a lot of block hits because of the flourish thing. So, and I feel the flourish node is bugged over here right now, because no matter how many charges they have, if we do just one block hit, it removes all the charges, which I don't think should be working like that. But eventually it's something which is benefiting us, so that's fine. We finish off this fight with a special 3, which would do a lot of damage, so I was pretty much sure it's gonna knock him out. So coming up to the fifth fight is Apocalypse on Scarfed Stiff, Bubble Shield, and Power Focus 2. So here my plan was to use Scorpion and probably push him to 2 bars of power, because it's easier for me to dex those rather than dexing the special 1. So by the time he finishes off his special 2, we are always rooted, so I'm prepared for that. And at the end of his special 2, I just do a heavy attack just to push him away from myself. And that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna mix up like a few 5-hit combos or short combos just to push him to 2 bars. And here we see again we're gonna get rooted, so I was prepared for that. And since I had 1 bar, I just charged my heavy just so that, you know, the debuffs which I put, the poisons which I put, will have a longer duration. And the Fate Seal is helping us on our specials to control all those flourish charges, sorry. So that's what I'm doing, and we're at like 8 block hits now. So I also have to be careful about his unblockable during the block. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Now we're at 9, so basically that means one block hit after his special 2. I can block 1, and so this block hit would be unblockable, but I thought like I can block it because of the taunt. But then I remembered like it's only for specials, so we took a hit over there, which was not a big deal. And here we do the same thing again. We push him away, and whenever I'm rooted, I just do like one dash back, and then I just reparry so that it's easier for me. And here we again dex this, and we time it out well this time because we didn't get rooted this time. And I thought like I might get rooted, so I just went with a heavy attack because I knew it's gonna connect. So here he is down. A pretty simple fight, but it can go south. But luckily it didn't go south for me, so that's fine. Next up is Killmonger on Power Snack, and I always forget the name of that node, where whenever they fill 1 bar of power, you get a power sting on you. So here I decided to do this fight with a class disadvantage just because thing is immune to nullify, so he's immune to power snack. And the fight is gonna be a lot longer because of the class disadvantage and because of thing, because he doesn't hit that hard, and I also have to be careful that I'm not hitting a lot during the reverberation. So I'm just taking this fight very slow, and the power stings on me, they are actually healing me up a little bit, so that is a good thing. And we're just gonna probably just get to a special 3, and whenever he's below 1 bar of power, we're just gonna throw that special 3 and also make sure he doesn't have that reverberation at that point. So I think we already got to our 60 fury mark, so we're gonna hit a bit harder now. I think it's 56 or 58. Yeah, but still the fight is going well. It's taking its time, but still it's a bit of a safer fight, I feel. And I knew that I could do it. I could have also done this fight with Havok, but I just wanted to be safe about this fight. So just because of power snack, because sometimes I just do a random dex, and if they get to a special 3, it's a lot of damage. And if I get the bleed, and if the person is running deep wounds, max deep wounds, it's just gonna hurt me. So in order to save potions and stuff, like I just planned it out in such a way that I have to use the least amount of potions. So here the fight is nearly done. The fight took like a little over 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes to be exact, or nearly 3.5 minutes. So in the end, what matters is if you can solo the fight or not. So we did solo the fight, and we didn't lose a lot of health. So here I think I'm just gonna use Thing again, and I'm just gonna heal him up a little bit, just so that whenever I'm going inside a fight, it's completely safe. So we have a Nova on Ebb and Flow Intercept, and I think it's Opportunist. No, it's not Opportunist. It's the other one where the amount of debuffs they have, they gain extra attack. So here my plan was first to get to a special 1 and throw it, put the Fate Seal so that I can remove the Fury. And once I remove the Fury, then I'm just gonna go with an Intercept, and also because this way he won't be auto blocking me. So that's what we're gonna do. And it is a bit of a slow fight, but still it's one of those fights which is completely safe. And since I know how to take his special 2, I'm just gonna push him to 2 bars most of the time, and so that I get a good retaliation in the end. And like sometimes I get clipped with that special one, so I just try to avoid making him use that special one. But the fight is going well, and I thought he's gonna dash in at me, but he didn't. So we lost a bit of like momentum over there, but the fight is going well. We have the neutralize also, and here he throws a special one. I thought he's not gonna throw a special one, and I might do my stand-up intercept, but it didn't work out. And I'm also running mutant power back boosts, so basically that's gonna help out Havok. And next up is Attuma, and it's the same even flow intercept node, and whenever they dash in they purify everything, so I don't have to worry about like him getting a lot of concussions, because whenever he dashes in at me he's gonna lose all of them. And I'm probably just gonna focus on baiting special twos, because I feel those are the ones which like are less harmful, and he doesn't trigger that unstoppable early because of it. And here we threw that special 2 like on the block. I had an input issue which basically just made me do 4 hits only, and I thought I did the 5th hit, but it didn't register somehow. But the fight is down like 1 SP2, and because of the power back boost we got to another special 2, so we just finished the fight, which is nice. And this Quicksilver fight is one of the most interesting fights in this video, because normally people just use Nick Fury for this fight, but I decided to use Havok for this one. So there were 2 things I had to be careful about. One was whenever he dashes in he's gonna be unstoppable, debuff immune, so I have to wait out that. I have to re-parry that hits like whenever he dashes in at me, and I also have to be careful whenever I try to parry he might evade. So these were the 2 things. Or whenever I intercept also he also evades, so I had to be careful about these 2 things. And then I just went with using special 2s mostly, because that way it finishes off the fight faster. So here we go in, we trigger that evade so that it's on cooldown, and we can basically just intercept him easily. So here I'm just waiting for him to throw that special 2 so that I can just wait out, and like I can just go with an intercept somewhere. And we do a re-parry, we trigger that evade again, and now I'm just gonna try for an intercept. And once I got that intercept I just did like a small combo, and I just used my special 3, which is gonna finish him again, because our SP3 is quite devastating. So I was sure it's gonna finish him off, so that was nice. Next up on the boss island we have the first fight, which is a Sasquatch on power efficiency. And I always forget the names of the nodes. So it's basically whenever I fill 1 bar of power he gains a vigilance buff, and whenever his buffs expire I have a approaching falter timer on me. So if I do a heavy or a special attack I remove that timer, and if I don't do that any of those 2 things during the timer ends, until the timer ends, I have a falter on me, which basically means I will be missing all the hits. So the main problem on this node is power efficiency, because whenever he has that wrath he never consumes his bar of powers. So basically you have to be careful about that, and eventually you're gonna get cornered, so you just have to be prepared about that too. So we're just gonna cycle up special ones whenever we can, and the poisons are gonna help us reduce that regeneration, and at one point it will be a lot less. It wouldn't even matter anymore, and now I'm just gonna do a 4-hit combo and do a special one and just finish up the fight. So the next mini boss fight is gonna be Gorr on Conflictor, Prowess Puncture, and yeah, these are the two main nodes on this one. So I asked for a white max pre-fight for this node, and this one thing which I didn't realize about this fight was whenever I put the neutralize, the prowesses never trigger. So, and since the prowesses don't trigger, the block penetration thing also never triggers. So I was not sure about this node, but I just played it my way, the way I usually play this node with thing, which is that I don't repeat the same action again. So if I do a heavy, parry heavy, I go with the medium, light, medium, and then I do a parry again and then do a heavy, so that I never do the same action again and never give him any prowesses. But around the end, like, I realized that because of the neutralize, nothing is triggering, so I could basically just do like 5-hit combos. So you can see, like, I'm just doing medium, light, medium, and then I'm doing a parry heavy, then a parry medium, light, medium, or a parry medium, light. So the fight is going well. We're just gonna bait out special ones because I'm not that much confident in dexing the special 2. So I just thought, like, maybe let's just stick to special ones, not try anything new. So since Thing is also a subdue attacker, whenever I use a special attack, I put a Fate Seal and remove all his buffs, which is nice for me because this way I don't trigger that region a lot or his main shadow buffs. So the fight is a lot controlled in terms of speed and everything, and also he's not gonna gain a lot of region stacks because of that. So because his region is, I guess, one of those kind of regions which keeps on scaling after time, I guess, because whenever he gains that region, he just, like, gets an extra amount of region every time. And here you can see, like, 1600 something health per second he's regenerating for that amount. So the Fate Seal actually helps, and also the neutralize helps. And we just finished the fight off, and it was a nice fight. So this next fight is going to be Sorcerer Supreme on Aspect of Evolution and power gain focus 100%, I think. So I used an invulnerability boost with Scorpion because I knew she's gonna get to a special 3, and in case after my special 1 she never throws a special 2, I have a safety net. So the same thing happened. She was not ready to throw that special 2 and she went to a special 3, so I was like, okay, it's not gonna hurt me. So that was fine, and I could basically tank like 3 SP3s, so I was not worried about this. And after this, I guess we paid out a special 1 somewhere, or maybe no. So this time she throws that special 2, so, and that stings a lot, which was nice. And here she throws another special 2, and at this point the fight was probably over. Like 30 seconds before the fight was actually in the back. We just wanted her to cycle up a few specials. So the last fight is a spot boss, and I'm using Scorpion for this fight because he is rupture immune by the default pre-fight, and he's also subdue. So basically I can purify all his, I can just remove all his buffs which he is gonna get, which are the energy resistance and physical resistance ones. And there's one thing which you have to keep in mind is that whenever he's at 4 or whenever he's at like 5 of his spot charges, he can enter untouchability, which basically means he, like over here, he was at 5 and I just went in and he triggered his miss. That means we're gonna miss all his all the time against him. So basically what I normally do is whenever he, like right now, if he's at 3 and if he's at 4 right now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wait until he gets to 5, or I'll just block hit him and get to 5 of those charges. So now since he's at 5, I'm not gonna go in after his special 1 or special 2, and I'm just gonna go in after his heavy attack just to trigger that miss, so that I get an opening after the miss has expired. So whenever he, like right now he's at 2, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw a special as fast as I can, and I'm just gonna wait out and play it slow and keep an eye on those charges. Like whenever they get to 5, the next hit which you do is gonna miss, so he's gonna trigger that untouchable thing. So you just have to be careful about that. And here he was a bit stingy about his special 2s. He was just not ready to throw it, and at this point I was a bit scared, like I just hope I don't push him to a special 3. But luckily he threw that special 2. And there's another trick which you can do is during his special 2 you could do like one whiff inside, like when during his animation, which would trigger that untouchable again, and this way you could actually waste a little bit of untouchable time. So after the second part you can just dash in and you can just block the third part. This is just like one trick which one of my alliance mate uses. So the fight is going well, I just have to be careful. Now he's at 5, so I'm just gonna bait a heavy and I'm just gonna do a medium in, and I'm just gonna dash back so it triggers the miss, so and it resets it back to 0. So now I can just hit him completely safely, and that's what we're doing. Now he's at 4, so I have to be careful about the miss again, and if I hit him after his special 2 or special 1, I remove 1, so now he's at 3, and we're just cycling up special 1s at this point, and the fight is going well. I'm confident that I can solo this fight. So now he's at 4, now he's at 6, so basically I have to bait a heavy again and trigger that untouchable thing. But here somewhere he was not just ready to throw that heavy attack, and here he did. So now we wait out this miss for the last time, I guess, and then we just go in and use a special 1, so he throws his special 1, and this way we can just finish him off as fast as we can. And we are already 4 minutes into the fight and he's gonna use his special, and that's it. So 13 fights this war, all solo, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and comment, and see you in the next one.